You're listening to the Real Estate Radio Hour, the show that brings you unfiltered stories and insight from the Twin Cities real estate world with your hosts, Chris Rooney, broker at RE/MAX Preferred, and Andy Presky, leader of the Preferred Home Team at RE/MAX Advantage Plus.
Well. Little Nikki and
What's up, fellas?
It's a good intro.
I'm sorry, what? Look at that.
Where's your pina colada?
Hold on.
I better open mine up so you can see my view.
Just remember to call this guy.
He looks like he has more fun. I'll tell you that. There's mine.
That looks good, Andy. That view right there, perfect.
What are you guys up to today?
What time is it, Andy?
Same time as your time?
Oh, you were on the same time. Okay.
Yeah. It's another 85 and sunny day. It's beautiful.
This is quite the show. What are we? Minnesota to Mexico to Brazil.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey,
Awesome.
do you guys see my new reward shirt I got? The team this year?
Let's
Ooh,
go.
Check it out.
Oh, what's that? Vacation.
Can you read it or not?
Hold on,
Work hard, play hard.
Work hard and play hard.
Yeah, there you go.
It says work hard and keep your job. No.
Yeah. Work hard if you want to be on the Preferred Home Team. So.
Hey, we have fun, man. I'll tell you what, guys. We one of our favorite experiences, if any of you guys are in this area in Cancun, and last night we had the opportunity to go to a restaurant down here called Harry's Steakhouse. Oh boy, is that a beautiful place.
Compared to Manny's?
Better.
Wow.
You can't beat the atmosphere. You're on the back water with palm trees and music, and they when they bring out the steaks, they don't just, you think about like a steakhouse. These guys bring out here's what we have in flown fresh from Japan today. Here's what we have in from Australia, our onyx steaks, our whatever. And so you really get that international, and they also have the American USDA, Kansas City. So it's cool. I don't know. Anyway, I was impressed, obviously.
Is it tourist type pricing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick always talks about tourists a block away, you're getting it for like 25 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, I don't know if their steaks are flown in fresh from Australia, but.
You see some cartel members having dinner with you last night, Andy?
Yes. Yeah, we had a whole table full.
Yeah? Can you introduce yourself? Want to sell some ranches in Mexico?
I did get a little bit nervous, so I thought, well, who would drive a Bentley in Cancun? And I go, I'm not even going to think about that. I'm just going to enjoy my meal.
Hey, but Americans are very important to the tourists because they own most of the places, so they're not going to mess around with Americans.
Yeah, I would hope not.
Yeah.
Since we got a couple more days.
I think pretty soon you can stay in Cancun as long as you want, Andy, because we got to show our YouTube channel. You guys are going to be YouTube stars pretty soon.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
YouTube stars, wow.
Let me find this link quick. Sorry, guys.
All right.
Oh, you got a link.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Look at all these views you're getting. You guys are the TikTokers now.
Wow. Look at us. People are actually looking at them too. Wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's fun. Well, I think it's hard to find good content that's not, swayed in one way or another, or a solicitation, if you will. And I think it's important for us in this industry to provide good information for the consumer, and so people know how to respond to the real estate agents, or they get into a transaction and they don't know how or what to do. That's the whole point of this show.
And timely.
Yeah.
Good and timely information, because typically everybody else is lagging behind 30 days waiting for something to happen or get some stats, but we're kind of seeing it in real time. So
yeah, exactly.
All right, what are we talking about? Oh, I suppose the market. Well, Andy probably doesn't know what the market's doing, or are you keeping in track? Hey, let's talk about that, Andy. What about
Yeah.
when you do take off from a realtor perspective? What happens to
Yeah.
your listings? What happens to your buyers?
Well, mostly everything unravels and lights on fire until I get back. But no, we actually have we put a plan together. So depending on the activity that's planned, we try to obviously get all of our work done and all of our listings ready to go before we go. But we do have team members that are still back in town, and so we've had 3 closings this week where the agents on the team are covering the closings. They're walking through the clients. We've walk them through all the final steps. Everything is done. They're just walking them through the final steps of the close. And unfortunately for me, that's my favorite part. So I like being there for that. So I'm going to do some stop bys after I get back and say hi and congratulations to everybody that closed this week.
I'll tell you what, I think the biggest thing that happened with COVID was the ability to do exactly what you're doing without everyone going crazy that you're not there for every second. But with what we have video wise and phone calls, and I mean, I literally believe that I could leave. There's a very big top agent in Minnesota that goes to Florida for 3 or 4 months in January, February, March, and April, and works from there. And so it's very easy. You can do it. I mean, I've done it. I've listed houses from Mexico where associates of mine go in, take a video camera. I mean, it's not like I haven't seen these houses before.
Right.
I kind of know what happens. And then we kind of put our team together, and they go out and get the staging done, and then I can do the marketing. Actually, better. I mean, you sitting by that ocean, coming up with a marketing plan for a certain house is a heck of a lot more inspiring than sitting at Buffalo Wild Wings. I'll tell you that.
It is a little weird though when you start putting palm trees in our Minnesota real estate ads, but hey,
that's true. I know we have a segment that we're going to switch some words around and use, so maybe you can use those from your inspiration of Cancun.
Hey, I'll do it.
All right. We're going to do some role playing, Andy.
Oh God.
Hey, let's get Andy in the hotel though, so we can get some good audio for this, because the waves are a little loud, but it looks pretty.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is nice. At least you do it right, Andy.
Ta-da!
Yeah. At least you do it right. You get a place right on the ocean.
Yeah, if I'm gonna go, I gotta do it right. That's for sure.
Yeah,
all right, let me shut the door. Hold on.
All right, well, we're gonna work these together today. Just
Let's
kind of
do it.
talk about what we would do. You're a real estate agent working with a family selling their home of 30 years.
Wow.
We run into that a lot.
Yep.
I do, and I know you do, Andy. You've talked about different ways. And the family desperately needs to make a good deal quickly in order to cover expensive medical bills. So this is typically you're working with one or the other spouses, maybe the spouse that's not needing the attention and the care, or you're working sometimes with the kids to be able to kind of get this going. But boy, there's a lot of different ways that we can help out a family doing this sort of thing. One is a pretty popular thing that you hear it a lot, is guaranteeing the sale of their home. Andy and I, we both buy homes. We don't put it over billboards and stuff like that, but we definitely purchase them. But the thing you have to remember is people aren't buying homes just to kind of help you out and pay their medical bills. They need to make money off of that. Now, how much is a different story depending on who it is, but that is one way in which to be able to get them out real quick. In there. I've done kind of a stopgap help system where I've borrowed them the money before, just give them enough money to be able to pay their medical bills, so we have time to be able to get their property in shape. Now, if it's $100,000 or $200,000, I mean, that's not great, but we could set them up with a lender as well. And if you get enough equity and your credit's not horrible, regardless of income, we can probably get that taken care of for you.
Yeah. No, it's I've done it too. like when they were building new houses, or they have that where they just can't remove the contingency. And as long as the math is correct for everybody, and I'm not saying you need to be piggy, but on the other hand, you're right, Chris, if you're taking a risk for them, what is your reward for them? And do they get enough reward out of it towards worth it for you and for them, right? So
yeah. Well, the other thing is what kind of gave me a little red flag as I was reading this was if there's a medical problem, I mean, are they treating that medical problem in the home? And if they are, that usually means medical beds, arm holders, and wheelchairs and all that kind of stuff around. Now, is that needed in the home while you're listing it? Because that could really affect your value, in doing that. So there's a lot of things that we'd have to kind of go through. But if you're trying to get them the most amount of money that you possibly can, I would try to somehow figure out how to cover those medical bills, get those paid within their equity, and then be able to get the house ready to be able to get the most out of it.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. I think that, when you get into any situation where they have a very specific need, making a plan is so important, and understanding what the true expenses are, what the true, profits or equity is for the family, so they can make decisions that are right for them and their family. Because I think a lot of times people are guessing at the equity amounts that they have, and they just think, I think I've got about 100,000 in the house. I really don't know for sure. Well, as soon as you decide to say, hey, Dad, you're going to head to the nursing home, they help you figure that out real fast. And so a lot of times it's smarter to make your moves before you make those decisions. So understand what you have, then plan and make the decisions appropriately, and you'll win.
Well, you hit it on the nose too. And there's some other things. What if they don't have a lot of equity and they do have a lot of medical bills, and their next step is probably some sort of assisted living or something like that?
Right.
I mean, or maybe there's 6 to 12 month that maybe they might die within that time period.
Yeah.
There might be some way, might want to stay in the house and let them grab that equity later on, which there might not be much of it. So there's some tough decisions to be made. It's our job to be able to give everyone the information so they can make an informed decision.
Amen. I think that's kind of the key, the heart of an educator, Chris, right? I think you and I have both talked about this in the past. A successful real estate agent in today's market is an educator, and they're resourceful, and they're pulling all the resources. They're pulling in the education that they can provide for their clients. And it's just, here's the thing. Most people are pretty darn smart. You just got to help them put all the pieces together. Once they have all the pieces together, it's easy to make a decision. As long as hey, if I go this way, I'm going to completely bankrupt myself. If I go this way, I can have what I was looking for, whatever that means, right?
Right.
So
I had a situation with a meeting I had, and in the last week, and there were some questions I posed to them that they needed to get answered before they could even move forward, that they had no clue that was part of it. And it had to do with some tax advice. Now, obviously, we can't give tax advice, but it's like, hey, you might want to go talk to this accountant because you need this, this, and this, and to decide if you should do this at this time. And so it's a big thing. And that little bit of advice probably could save them $150,000.
Yeah. Wow.
So, yeah. So, and it's just stuff that, we deal with and we know. So,
yeah.
All right, let's do the next one. All right. Obviously, we're a real estate agent working with the veteran family to find a new home quickly. You must be aware of the special vet benefits and programs available for vets. Be able to find a suitable home that meets all of their family's needs.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of times with veterans, they have VA eligibility, so they can get a VA loan. Sometimes people, I don't know, Andy, what do you get? Do you get a mixed vibe on that? Because with VA, you can get 0% down. So veterans can put 0% down. But how do sellers react to that when you're purchasing it? I can kind of get a mixed reaction.
I agree. I think that people don't understand, again, the educator role, right? And so spending the time with their lender to understand the overlays that the bank is going to have, what are the benefits to, it's as great as it is. As a seller, if you've got a buyer coming in and you say, thank you for your service, but I don't want it to cost me a closing, or I don't want it to cost me a sale or whatever. So you don't want to let the the honor of accepting a VA loan go over top of the reality of what does that mean for you. Now, in today's market, we've had great success with VA loans. Literally, they're going through. I think the purchase is like 830 or something crazy like that, or is it? It's even higher than that, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it depends where you're at, but
Yeah,
but they do. They've been flawless. The VA has. I mean, we don't have problems with appraisals typically. We've had the other thing you got to know is that if they've got some sort of disability, a veteran or
sure.
that it's 20, 30, 50, 100% disabled, there's additional benefits from there. There's funding fees that you don't have to pay, property taxes up to a certain amount that you don't have to pay. I
Yep.
had a veteran that just bought a place that I think his property taxes are now he's 100% PTSD, but I think his property taxes are now $450 on an $850,000 place.
Yeah.
So they
Well,
have amazing benefits.
They do, and I tell you, I had a seller a couple years back that was VA disabled vet and had all the benefits, and so they had the property tax, benefits, and it was actually a completely shock to me that how many people would hesitate when they'd say there's zero tax on this house, and they go, "Whoa, what? Why?" And they didn't understand, and I literally had to write an entire attachment to the listing agreement to put online. So the agents could explain it to their buyers that, hey, this guy's a disabled veteran, and because of his service, they provide him with this benefit. Yeah. And they go, oh, but it was, I mean, there were people stopping in their tracks thinking there was some kind of a scam going on, or anyway.
That's so true. I was going to mention that because on the opposite side, when you're listing that house and the taxes are $400, people are going to be, what is going on? This realtor's dumb and missed a zero kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, very true. But, veterans are, I've worked with quite a few of them. We've accepted a lot of offers. A lot of sellers really like that. But I think the biggest difference is, and it's been a while now, it was before COVID even, but I'd say the last 5 years versus the previous 25 years is night and day difference of what they've done for them.
100%. Yeah. Which is good because they needed it. It was like the best program that was never used. Yeah. Or very rarely used. And these vets, they want to use it because, hey, it's a benefit. But then one quick little last piece I'll throw in there. I've had friends of mine that were, in a situation where they would buy a property and then they would refinance with a VA loan and refinance with a VA loan. And the only thing that I warned, there's kind of a caveat to that benefit. Just remember that funding fee always goes on top. So they don't see it, but it's there. And it's, depending on how much it is, when they refinance, all of a sudden you bought your house for $300 and 10 years down the road, you want to sell it and you owe $350. It's because those funding fees, they kept throwing them on top. And so to their own detriment, a lot of these, remember, it's not the bank, or it is the bank, it's not the VA. The bank will let you refinance because they get to make their fees, right? They get paid obviously for funding that thing. And so it gets to a point of where all of a sudden you can kind of put yourself into a negative equity position pretty fast just by refinancing to get your payment down. So be cautious, and I would say consult with somebody that actually cares about you. So,
good point. All right. We're working with a high-end client.
Oh boy,
who's looking for the perfect luxury home in a highly desirable neighborhood. The client is picky and has specific requirements, and they're seeking your expertise in helping them find the perfect home. All right. Well, that's not unusual. People that typically have more money are able to get the things that they want, and then they want it more perfect. Now, to get the absolute perfect, as an agent, don't leave out new construction because you can solve the whole problem right there with new construction. Now, is it more? Yes. You're going to end up paying more, but you're going to get exactly what you want. And sometimes that's what people want. I kind of refer to it like, in my case, it's the 3-season porch. I would never, the 3-season porch to me was like, I'm not going to put that on because I don't think I'm going to get the money out of it. And then once you've had it, now it's like, you can't not have it again. Right. And so it's like, I'll put that on, and the money doesn't matter. So now look at it kind of in a bigger situation. Someone that's got a whole ton of money, that they want an office that has 3 sides windows, and they want a huge projector screen, and they want it so big. Well, how are you going to find that kind of house? You might not find it, so you got to build it. But they're willing to pay for it. So you give them the options, show them what it is. The one problem is that getting good land close in is really hard to be able to build a type of luxury home. So sometimes you got to give up location, but also keep in mind that you can remodel those houses as well. And a lot of people don't have to just move from one place to the other. They can stay in their own house and wait to move into the new house and then sell their other house. So getting that information, I think, is really important.
I was not adjusting. I was not.
You weren't? No, not at all. He caught you. So, you got anything to add on that one, Andy?
I think that when you're working with high-end clients, it's so individual, and spending the time to really peel that onion back and understand what that customer wants, what their needs are. How can I really help this person, and then to be resourceful. Spend the time and spend the energy and the effort to be resourceful, to reach out to other agents that are specializing in that price point or that area, and let them know, hey, I've got a client. They're very important. Here's their needs. What can we do to help, you sell something, we want to buy something, and reaching a little deeper, I think, is important with the high-end client.
Yeah, 100%. They pay for value. So you got to sell the value that you give to them. And knowledge of what the market is doing and the luxury market is very important.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Nick.
Hi, boys. We got some foreign properties we're going to look at. Andy, you're getting a taste of that foreign life right now. I got 2, I think, pretty good deals in great locations that I have been to. So we'll chat about it, but it's going to be brought to you by Mr. Andy Prasky. Do you want to do your commercial on the balcony, or should I just rip the video?
Rip the video. Well, they said I could have 30 seconds on the show for a quick ad. Andy Prasky, RE/MAX Advantage Plus, Andy@Prasky.com if you want to email us. Here's the thing. 22 years in the business, over 1,400 sales. I'd like to help you with your real estate needs. If that's buying, if that's selling, if that's building, whatever it is, give us a call, send us an email. Let's get you started on your real estate journey. I'd like to help you on the way. Lots of experience here, and I would like to put it to work for you. Andy Prasky, RE/MAX Advantage Plus. Thanks for listening to the show.
I'm kind of wondering, Nick, if Andy sold like 2,000 homes since he did that video.
Yes.
I mean, he went from 1,400 to 2,000. That's what I think.
Hey, you know what? Did numbers really matter? Did they?
No. All right, what do we got here?
Hi, boys. This is Saranda, Albania. It's on the coast, right next to Greece. Amazing location. It felt just like Greece, but a third of the price. Like the food, the lifestyle, everything. But this is like a compound. It's got 11 bedrooms, or 11 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, 550 meters squared, which is, I think, like close to 3,000 square feet, probably more than that. And yeah, so look at this thing though. It's in a great location too, right next to the city center of Saranda. Obviously, you're in walking distance to the beach, but this is going for 500,000 euros. So what, 520 grand?
Wow. Nick, what's the political climate there?
There's a lot of corruption with the Albanian mafia, but they don't really do it in Albania. They do it outside. They have like a lot of strength in Europe when it comes to like drug trafficking. But yeah, the mafia owns the government, but they love Americans. You get a 1-year visa on arrival, so you can practically stay there as long as you want and just go out after a year and come right back in. People are super nice. It's extremely safe. There's no issues whatsoever. And yeah, look at this place for 520.
It's 5,300 square feet, by the way.
5,300, yeah.
Yeah, but look at the views of the water too. See, Andy, I'm like looking out what you have, I mean, is
Yeah.
awesome. You're right on it. You can hear it and see it.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I'm good with. I just like to see the water. I don't have to go play in it. Did you get bit by any sharks yet?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Hey, how about this old? These are like old Roman mosaics. Obviously, this one's more new, but I think that's pretty neat. Do you see it down there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Andy, would you throw a flyer for 500 grand at something like this?
What?
A flyer, like, hey, it's 500 grand. Let's try it with a couple friends. It's 125,000 a piece, type thing. That's only 400, but 150,000 a piece. You guys are all for 150 a piece, and you got a place to go hang out in Albania. I don't know, Nick. What's the travel like to get there?
Yeah, so there's actually an airport. There's a Greek island nearby that's really famous. I'm blanking on the name. So you fly in there, and then you take a 30-minute ferry to Saranda. Otherwise, there's an airport in Tirana, which is the capital, and that's 5 hours away by drive. But everyone just flies into the international airport in Greece nearby.
Yeah.
I was going to say this too. I didn't mention this. So this Albanian coast, Albania was shut off to foreigners for like 40 years. And it wasn't until like the last like 10 years, like tourism is actually starting to be their focus. And they're saying like, I was staying in a really amazing 2-bedroom place with unreal views, 10-minute walk to the beach for $500 a month in a similar location. And I really think in the next 2-3 years, this coast is going to be like just attacked with tourism because the rest of the Mediterranean is quite expensive. So if you did buy something like this, I mean, you could rent out a lot of those bedrooms for a lot of money.
I was listening to this one guy that has a podcast, and he was telling me this almost exact thing that it came up when you started talking about that it was cut off to the tourists 30, 40 years ago. And then all of a sudden, what's going to happen if they do that again, if they cut us off? And Mr. Prasky, you're the guy that said that. And you've talked about that, but it's true. It's kind of like, what if they say, hey, no more American tourists? Well, what I own the place. What can you do?
Not anymore, Chris. We also own your offshore oil rigs, and we took all. I don't know if you remember Google ad from Mexico. This was back in the 80s, I believe, and they did the same thing where they said, all right, no foreign owners, and all. I mean, corporations, individual owners. So you want to be in a country where if you're investing in a foreign place, you want to have that fee simple where you actually own the deed. It's protected. It's insured. And, like Belize does that. And there's a lot of countries in Central and South America that have that where you can actually own it and be a foreign owner. And there's no way to identify you as a foreign owner.
No.
The good part about the Balkans is that they're all trying to get into the EU. So they're going to play every rule by their book, because if you get into the European Union, obviously your wages go up. A lot of good things happen for your citizens, and they can freely travel in between countries and work and live. So I think Albania is a decently safe bet. I think the mafia wants to get that country, wants foreign investment in there. And yeah, I think I don't think you have to worry too much about that, but you're right, Andy. Definitely like where you're at in Cancun. If you go a couple hours down south to Tulum, which is super famous now, I think it was like 10, 15 years ago when it was just, naked beach with hammocks out there. A bunch of French people bought up land and they created hotels. And I think in the last 5-10 years, the cartel just took them. And then there's a huge battle between the embassies, and they might have gotten something from it because it was the Mexican government and the French government going at it, saying like, you just can't do that, But the problem is like the deeds, like you said. So if it's a tourist and you're dumb, you don't have someone local that's helping you, a foreigner that's not helping you, they can give like a public deed or a private deed. And then some judge can just say, oh, no, it's not your deed no more. So I think you just have to be really certain with your paperwork and the lawyers and all that.
Well, like down here now they do leases where you have a 100-year land lease. So you buy because right now there's condos being built here I can see that are not on the ocean side, they're on the lagoon side. And then you walk across the road, of course, to the ocean. But you could buy it and own it, and they do a 100-year ownership window. So.
But that might just be for land, though. I think for like condos, you can actually own it. It's similar in Thailand where you cannot buy land. No foreigner can buy land, but you can buy like an apartment or in a condo on the land. You know what I mean?
You know, and all I can say is that I'd have my attorney review all of the verbiage and all of the paperwork so that I understood it. Because you know, it sounds great. Because I mean, if you could buy a condo down here for a couple $100,000 and it's your vacation, you fly down there because it's cheap. Like one of the things now, guys, I'm going to sound like an old man here. Easy, right? So when we come, the reason why we come to Cancun is a lot of times because it's easy. There's nonstop flights from where we live now. You're down here in a couple hours. You're on the beach in 10 minutes, and it's easy. It's fast in and out, and it's very consistently nice here, weather-wise, right? So that's why, like my team, I let them vote. Where do you guys want to go? And they always pick Cancun because they love it. It's easy, fast, and just a little more Americanized. Yeah. I don't know if that's the right way to say that. Americanized.
I think if you do, you talk about like Albania. It is. It's how do you get there, and how long does it take, and then how long do you have to stay there, you know, to make it worthwhile. And so I think it turns into you know, a different type of investment. It's almost like, you know what, hey, we just want to go away, kind of a inexpensive place, beautiful, be able to hang out, and have this great mansion that I can rent out, but I'm going to do it for, you know, 3-4 months at a time.
Well, like Nick, I think about you, buddy, when like your grandpa died and you're, you know, traveling all over the world. And when you get some kind of tragic news like that and your heart just pulls you back to your family and you need to get there, that all of a sudden those kind of like connections, and you have to ride a goat for 3 days up a mountainside to get to the airport. I mean, you know what I mean? It's cool, but it's like, on the other hand, I'm like, I need to go to the airport, get me out of here. That's the old man in me. Sorry.
Was it a goat, Nick, or a donkey?
It was 34 hours.
They transferred the donkey at 30 hours to a goat. And this time, don't ride one with horns. The horny ones are the.
Got there just in time to give a big speech, Andy. I don't know if you remember that.
That's right. Oh my! I would love to play that on air.
It's on air somewhere. It is on air.
I think they left it up on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, so this next.
Go ahead. That's all right. We'll leave it alone.
I'll go there. Yeah, sometime.
This next property is in Florianópolis, Brazil. It's probably one of my favorite places in the world. It's an island. It's got 40 different beaches, a bunch of hiking. It's in Brazil, so obviously the prices are really good, like cost of living. This is where like the celebrities and the really wealthy people have homes from Brazil in. So this is like Miami, basically, right? Mm. And first of all, I always see these foreign agents, their listing photos are terrible. But so check out this place. It's 251,000 euros, so $270,000 about. And it's in probably one of the best locations in Floripa. It's next to like one of the most high-end malls. It's in between the center of the city and then like the kind of the beaches right in the heart of the island. But it's got this pool action here. Nice backyard.
Looks like a compound. It's all fenced in.
Well, all Brazilian homes are usually like that because of unfortunately crime, and that's how they protect themselves.
Jeez.
It's got a security room too. I remember in the description, but so this is $270,000, and then probably one of the best locations in the most richest, best area in Brazil. And Floripa to me is like very European. I'd felt in no danger whatsoever.
Yeah, and what is it? About 5 to 1 on the dollar.
Yeah, so right now it's 5 reais to $1. Yep. Here's a security room. They got little cameras.
Sweet.
Yeah, for $270K.
Well, the best part about this too is 4 parking spaces too. Is that if you in Brazil invest $250,000 in real estate, you can get permanent residency, so you can stay as long as you want, and after 3 years, you can get a Brazilian passport. So it's an investor visa, and a lot of foreigners try to take advantage of that because otherwise you only get 3 months, and you can do an extension if you pay, and then you have to get out of the country for 90 days. Similar to the Schengen zone, you get 90 days out of 180 days, so you can't just leave and come right back. But that's a good little program they have in Brazil for investors.
Nice. That's cool property.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember too. So in the winter time, or our winter is their summer, Everyone tries to get to Florianopolis, especially from like Argentina, Uruguay, the rest of the Brazilians. And I remember like the prices just shot up. And I'm thinking of a place like this, you could rent out a room or two. They have a pool to go there, or you can turn it into like a boutique type little Airbnb, or even a hostel. I thought I was on Bold Perceptions for a second.
Yeah.
You could be on Andy's.
You know what's funny? If you guys ever watch those videos where they just take normal people talking and they start bleeping the bleep button just for fun, so you think they're swearing but they're not.
Yeah.
We should do a segment called The Bleep.
Yeah, I can get you to that place though. The Florianopolis one, I can get you. I think 8 hours to Sao Paulo, and then I think it's an hour and a half to Floripa. So it's actually decent. And it'd be your winter, getaway. And I don't know. That's my spot though. I love the Florianopolis. It's European. Huh?
Andy or Nick and Andy, which one would you guys pick if you had to choose between those two deals?
The second one.
You go Florianopolis?
Yeah.
I
don't know about it. I'm still I haven't seen a lot of postcards from Albania yet. So
well, you know what was
I'm sure it is.
I have a specific set of skills. That was Albania.
Taken.
That was Taken. The movie Taken was from there. So yep. One of the best movies. I love that movie. I love that little series.
I think okay, so what I would take if I wanted to make a lot of money off the Airbnbs and whatnot is for sure the Saranda one, because I think within the next 5 years the prices are going to be insane on that coast, the Riviera, Albanian Riviera. But to live, for sure, that Floripa home. I think if you can get a pool in that location for that price, Brazilian girls, Brazilian prices, I mean, that is literally paradise on earth for 6 months of the year.
I don't know if Chris is and my wife would be real happy with that, but that's okay.
Details, Andy. Details. It's about business. It's about a podcast.
Honey, I got this place. I've got this place, honey, where we can go and we can see beautiful women. And she'd be like,
we're YouTube stars, Andy. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah. Hey, us and our 6 followers will head down to Brazil. Oh, come on. There's 8.
Hey, pretty soon, Andy. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Hey, Chris, which one are you taking? You didn't say. Like, what's your overall thoughts?
Florianopolis. I just feel a little more secure that it's closer. I could get there faster. I don't like taking long. It wasn't bad when I went to Poland. It really wasn't that bad.
Right.
To get there, but I really felt like I just had no idea what was going on. I think Brazil, I would feel a little better.
When you were in Poland, the bombs didn't deter you going off over in the neighboring country?
Yeah, a lot of bombs. Not a one. I mean, I didn't see a military vehicle the whole time I was there during this war, just so you know.
Well, us Polish people know how to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. You're smart.
They want to fight. They want to join the war. And they're trying to get everyone else to say, no, let's go to war with Russia. The Russian-Polish feud is crazy. I mean,
if you go back in time, there was like I think the warriors back in, they were called like the Marauders or whatever, and they were some crazy people. Yeah, Polish warriors, on their horses. Yeah.
Polish what, Nick?
I said the tough. Polish. They're tough. They're supposedly the ones who saved.
Kick their women around like nothing. I'm trying to save the world over there, and I'm getting told I just let them hit them. It's no big deal.
And that's our show. Thank you.
But
I think you should put that in context before that gets edited.
Hey,
Andy, your ancestors supposedly saved Europe from the Ottomans. The Muslims in the siege of Vienna. They came down. King Sebastian. He went down there with a bunch of cavalry, and they stopped the siege of Vienna. So,
that's cool.
Europe owes you. They owe you, Andy.
Yeah, they. I'm not kidding you. My family, way back when they were big landowners, they had ranches with horses, and you hear about like Polish Arabian horses and stuff like that. They were big in that scene, and they lived up in the country and loved that. I don't have one living ancestor that was a male after World War II.
Wow. Yeah.
It was all females over there.
Huh.
Yeah, well, sucks, but a couple of us escaped.
Yeah, I guess. Wow.
All right, guys. Hey, let's get into our Agent MD segment, talking about multiple offers, how to deal with them, hot topic. So it'll be brought to you by Mr. Chris Rooney, Home Experts.
I was just 1 year old when my family started in real estate, where both my parents were agents. They also dabbled in investing in real estate, rentals, flips, and construction. After college, I went right into getting my license in July of 1990. As a 23-year-old agent in an industry that looks nothing like today, I had to know more for my clients to choose me. There wasn't Zillow or social media to tell them how good I was. I had to win them over with knowledge. With knowledge comes confidence, and with confidence comes results.
The doctor is in the house. The doctors. That's you and I, Andy. We're the doctors.
Let me put my rubber glove on, Chris.
There, I gotta put my head next to yours there. Okay, now we're better. Hey, multiple offers, big thing. All during COVID and still today. We're still getting multiple offers, maybe not as many, but we're definitely getting them. And I thought we could share some ideas on how to get your offer through. Different ideas that can help you win a multiple offer situation without just trying to give them the most money you possibly can. What are you seeing with escalation clauses, Andy? And maybe explain what that is.
I'm not. They kind of went away, but I am seeing the. I'm going to sound a little mad at first, but I'm not. If you're going to write an offer on one of my listings and you don't spend the time, the professional courtesy to call the listing agent, explain your offer, the parameters, explain why their financing is fantastic and why they offered what they offered, a lot of times that puts you at a disadvantage because you're not giving your client the chance to really sell their offer. Like if it isn't at list price or it's just a little over, why or how do you justify that price? It's very important for you to make sure that your agent is presenting that. And what I'm saying is there's a lot of agents that will email an offer and not even call me. And 2 days later they go, well, didn't you get my offer? And you're like, no, I didn't. It's spam. And it's not my job to cruise through my spam and we sold it to somebody else. Well, that's a bunch of, and I'm like, it's not. It's really not.
It happens. I would say, we were talking about this the other day. Yeah. I would say maybe 60% of the people that write offers call. That's 40% that don't call and just send an email. It's craziness to me.
But if I was going through the MLS and I saw an old fart like me, I'd be like, oh, okay, this guy's going to want to have a phone call or, sell to your audience. So, and I also think this, just be professional. Professionals make sure that the quarterback, the Knicks of the world, he doesn't throw the ball and look the other way and walk off the field. He makes sure that the play happens and watches it and encourages it and gives advice as to how that could be better next time. And, there's a coaching line. I got a new one for you guys. I'm going to email you guys my Randy the Macho Man Savage analogy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They, first of all, Nick doesn't look down the field. He waves to the crowd right after he throws. But second of all,
pictures.
Number one thing, and we don't study this stuff ahead of time. We kind of just throw it out there. But number one thing that I would say is have your agent talk to the other agent. I mean, that's number one. It seems really basic, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't like confrontation. They don't feel comfortable with what they're doing. But I'll tell you what, you can get a lot of at least your offers known in the right context versus me trying to sit there and figure it out. Like, why would they even offer this and why would they do this? I mean, if you say, you know what, hey, they're just starting couple kids just getting going. It's actually about the fifth house they saw. They really like it, but they don't blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's just a lot better that rather than just throwing their offer away, because it's lower and there's some financing terms that are great. At least the seller can now hear about the reasoning for that offer. And sometimes it works. And sometimes it's just moving it to the next level, meaning it might be like, hey, your offer isn't the best, but I do like some of the terms this guy has. And so maybe we'll go ask that agent, really nice agent, was very friendly. Let me go call that Andy up and say, Andy, we really like this about your offer, but we need to get the price there. Is that something that you could do? I mean, you don't get that by an email. You won't get that.
Right.
So that's important. How about individual little things, Andy? How about higher earnest money?
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a difference. It shows, good intent. But if earnest money is treated like earnest money is treated, like a lot of things in today's world, it doesn't mean anything. It's a symbol of intent, but there's no teeth to it. So if you sent me an earnest money check that says, upon removing all contingencies, my earnest money is non-refundable, now I'm excited for you.
Yeah, it's exciting for a seller to see. They seem to think it's a big thing, but you have to explain to them. Typically, earnest money doesn't go hard until that final financing letter is done, which might be, a week before closing, 2 weeks before closing. So you got to kind of keep that in mind. I did a couple that was interesting, and you just said it, was non-refundable earnest money. After the inspection was done, they were confident that they're not going to have any issues with financing. And they had their mom and dad behind them on this, that they went and said, hey, it's $10,000 earnest money. After the inspection's done, we want to do an inspection, and which weren't winning a lot then, but we'll give you our $10,000. You're guaranteed that it's done. Deal was made. We got to do the inspection.
That's what it should be.
Yeah.
See, to me, I'm like, don't even give me any money. Just give me a high five then if you're not going to make that non-refundable, because what's the point? If I can't retain it or keep it, or if there's so many ways for you to get it back, it doesn't mean anything.
Yep, exactly. And then based on that whole financing date, because until that date, the earnest money, depending on the contract, it might not say that it's non-refundable, but that commitment date that your loan is done, the sooner you can do that, the better it is. Meaning that it's it's the next stage of non-refundable earnest money. So if you did it after your inspection, that's one thing. But if you did it, let's just say that we wrote a contract today and we're going to close the end of June. I'm going to go in and say, you know what? By the end of May, we're going to give you our financing commitment that we have it. You got to watch out for your lender, because sometimes they have to re-pull 30 days prior to closing. But it's on you and you lose your earnest money. But you're going to feel pretty comfortable by that time. You're set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. Agreed.
All right. How about a delayed possession day for the seller? Meaning that if you're a buyer, you're purchasing it, and you might be in a different situation, and just say, you know what? Hey, we'll close on it and we'll give you 7 days to be able to move out.
Yeah.
I just suggest to people, if you do that, do a rent back agreement, just so everyone's covered on there. There might not be any money involved with it, but at least there's some things that are covered if all of a sudden they say, you know what, we're not moving out. We lost our other house. We can't get out. We're going to stay in it. Well, you got to evict them, and you got to have some sort of documentation to be able to do that. And so a rent back agreement definitely helps with that.
Yeah, for sure. And I think if there's a penalty that they all agree to up front, so we know those consequences to not behaving to the actions you've agreed to. Yeah, it's important.
Yep, exactly. We just did one on. So I had a buyer that I had to sell their house, but we purchased another place, and then their house we listed it. We ended up getting multiple offers. What we were able to do is that the closings, let's just say, are at the end of May. And typically, people, hey, we'll just do them both at the end of May. What we said is, let's do it a week earlier. So on the new house, we'll close a week earlier, but then we'll get 10 days possession. So not only do we get our money and we know we have it for our next closing at the end of May, we also get 3 more days in which to be able to move. And that made that offer work for that buyer, because they were moving into town and they didn't care when they closed, because they can come there anytime they want. So they're going to close and we're going to get the money. And then now we're set for other closing, not worried about anything, packing and doing all that.
Yeah.
So that was good.
A lot of times with us, Chris, so too, with the new builds, there are a lot of logistics happening there. And, possession, for example, even a day early, for example, is important for some people. With the builders, wrapping up the house on the inside, but the garage is done and these people have to move their stuff because of a closing date they've already committed to, or they're waiting for a CO, or what weird thing could happen during the build. And so sometimes that moving up a date is actually a negotiable part of it as well that can happen. So if you ever find yourself in that pickle, your real estate agent that you have can also negotiate to move in, early, as long as all the stars are aligned, of course. But there's ways to do that as well.
Yeah. How about inspections, Andy? I'm seeing inspections asked for a lot more.
Yeah.
We had a few weeks back, 3 listings that went on. All of them had multiple offers, and there was 18 total offers between the 3 properties. Out of those, how many properties do you think, or how many offers do you think asked for an inspection? Out of those 18,
I bet all.
All but one. All but one. So everyone's starting to ask for inspections again. So and there's a lot of realtors telling clients that, you know what, get past it, and don't do an inspection. I think that's a little scary for not only the buyer, but it is for the seller as well. You're kind of left out there. You got this buyer who thinks maybe they paid way too much, and they didn't do an inspection, and they start worrying about it. And now we got a problem right before closing. So I don't know.
No fun.
Yeah,
I do too, from a liability perspective, from a seller too.
Yeah.
When you give somebody an opportunity to come in with a professional set of eyes and look at things in a different perspective than you will, they dive deeper, they go farther than you will. Just like, hey, if you call somebody to fix your furnace, you don't fix it yourself. You should have somebody take a look at that furnace and make sure that it's running up to because otherwise, a couple days after closing, that furnace goes kaput. Nobody's going to care. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you because you had a chance to do it. So when a professional looks at it, then the professional helps you make a buying decision, that's what it's all about. You're helping that buyer make the buying decision, and you as a seller are giving them the opportunity to do that, which also waives a little bit of your liability from I didn't disclose this, but they saw this, they didn't, whatever. And it's not that you intentionally didn't disclose it, you forgot, Right. I can't remember 18 years ago in my house what happened or didn't happen, or, this is my second roof, or is it my third roof on this house? I don't remember, so those are the kind of things that, at the end of the day, you're just protecting yourself as a seller, allowing them to make a good decision. When people make good decisions, they don't sue people.
Very true. Oh boy, rapid fire. Here we go.
So I want you guys to take these very generic listing phrases and make them better, because everyone usually copies the same kind of ones. So I want you guys to separate yourself and take these and make them great. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we're making them better.
Hey, go back and forth. So Chris, go, then.
Oh boy. How about playground paradise?
Room for the entire family.
Racist. What if I don't have a family?
Your family could be anything you define as a family. Racist? That's not racist. That would be
fully stocked bar. How about that? Fully stocked. What? Fully stocked entertainment cabinet.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Party kitchen.
Hey, how about because having a sink, it depends what else you have in there, but we could go.
I do get a lot of people. I do get that in Chris when we say, hey, we're putting in a wet bar, and they go, well, we don't drink. And so I think a lot of people have that stigma that you have to be a drinker to have a wet bar, and you don't. It can be simply an entertainment center. Put your melted cheese on there and your crock pots and
refreshment center.
Yeah, better. Love it.
Yeah,
God, you're good. You are good, dude.
Chef's kitchen. I would assume a chef's kitchen to me would be, it's got all the cool appliances, right? I mean, I think people use that term as very loose. So I would say a highly appointed kitchen, or
microwave king, or
microwave king. Yeah. Chef's kitchen. How about
Entertainer's dream.
Equipped for every occasion. Equipped for every occasion. How about that?
That's a nice one. Okay.
Open concept living.
Echo chamber.
Fresh.
It's not. It's not supposed to go negative. It's positive, right, Nick?
Yeah, we're supposed to make it look good. We're trying to sell these houses, I think.
There's no carpet in Mexico here, so it's like everywhere you go, everything echo, echo, echo.
Open concept living. How about because I think that's like it's everyone's in kind of the same place. How about
A gathering?
yeah, I was thinking gathering was a good word. Or entertainment style living. I think that would be there too. Because I think people like
inspirational space.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
Oh, these aren't that easy. Just pop it up on you. Expansive deck. Wow.
Huge deck.
Party size deck. How about I've used party size deck a lot.
Hey Chris, we had a neighbor at a block party.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there and he goes, we're talking, introducing ourselves. This was 20 years ago. And he goes, yeah, I'm the guy with the big deck. Oh my God. I was like, and I don't think he understood the way it was coming across. And everybody's like,
yeah, I'm the guy. Wow.
You must be very proud of yourself, sir.
Yeah, that's impressive. Oversized master bedroom. Wow.
Andy sized.
Spacious master suite. We're supposed to be using using that.
Owner's hideaway.
Owners. Owners. Aren't we not supposed to do that kind of stuff? Say that stuff?
Well, they own it.
Primary. We're supposed to say.
Okay.
Yeah. So
fireplace.
All right, fireplace. A fireplace. How about a
secondary heat source?
Yeah, I don't know. What else would you call it?
Ambiance maker.
Yeah, it depends if it was gas or electric, I guess too.
Yeah.
Ambiance. Yeah. I don't know what else it just depends what context, I guess.
There's no better feeling though when it's snowing outside and it's cold. You got the fireplace going and it creates that environment. You know what I mean? I don't know how to. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think everybody that's watching this is learning that we have creative writers that do our stuff.
Luxurious touches. About top quality amenities.
High-end finishes.
It's vaulted ceilings, open, airy. You could start like depending on what kind of vault it is. You can kind of inverted vault, transom, box vault, tray vault. You could use a lot of those different words to be able to kind of describe it. Cathedral type open ceilings. What's that?
Sometimes we just use like fun ceilings, like in Ramblers. What's kind of fun about a Rambler is you can do different ceiling effects in each room. So you could have a box vault, for an example, in a master, and have the tray lighting around it. You can have like you're talking about the inverted vaults in the dining room over top of the great room. I mean, there's so many cool things you can do with your ceilings. That's why I love Ramblers, because you can do so much fun with what's above you.
How about architectural lines?
Yeah.
You might be able to throw something in with that too.
Yeah.
Granite, solid surface.
Yep.
Natural countertops. You could kind of go with instead of granite.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've used really much more than that.
Yeah, I think that natural is a great way to use. Because I think a lot of people, I think in our heads, as a consumer, you don't realize you're actually cutting a slab of granite out of the earth, polishing it, and bringing it to your house. And there's a blemish right here, and it's like these poor stone people are like, "Are you serious right now?"
Well, we do. It's called a rock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mother Nature made this. Talk to her.
All right.
Good job.
We didn't fail. Did you have the right answers for us or no?
No, they're just getting like a word. You guys, jeez, I can't speak either. Andy, you going to Coco Cabana? You going to the club tonight?
We're going clubbing for sure.
Nice.
You're a clubber for sure.
Oh, they got the Sagrassi, right? The stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's that season right now.
Get you.
Yeah, they come by every couple hours and grab it, but it's definitely a hard spot to pass up.
Andrew, how long are you there for yet?
Just another couple days.
Okay.
Yep. Then we're out of here. Well, thank you, gentlemen. It was a pleasure doing business with you.
Yes. You
Yeah,
too.
and everyone else,
check it at the beginning.
Check out our link tree and get on that YouTube because I'm posting all the shorts there first, and they're starting to go. So get on our page before these guys become famous.
Before we are famous.
Oh, okay.
Not insulted at all by that. We're
YouTube stars. Remember, or future.
Yeah.
See ya.
We'll leave you with this.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Real Estate Radio Hour. Don't forget to visit our website, realestateradiohour.com, where you can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, or your preferred podcast listening app. If you enjoyed today's episode, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes or sharing us with a friend. Until next time, stay awesome, Twin Cities.